The LEGO Star Wars Summer 2022 wave is really great overall, but there is one major problem. Most of the sets are overpriced. Hey guys, so I did firstly want to address a few things because I instantly know that there will be a lot of comments coming up. First of all, yes, LEGO was kind of overpriced to begin with, but this wave is a lot more overpriced than usual. In fact, I would recommend checking out a video I made a while ago called Is LEGO Star Wars Overpriced? It kind of goes into why some sets are overpriced and the reason behind LEGO's pricing. It is pretty important to have some form of knowledge about that topic when going into this video, so I would recommend checking that out at least afterwards. Basically though, things like new minifigures with new prints, new molds especially, bring up the price a lot. There could also be just value in general for big pieces, for example, and then there's of course price per piece, which is how much pieces are actually in the model, but of course this can change depending on obviously the size of pieces, rarity of pieces, complexity of pieces, all that kind of stuff. Now I'm sure that there will be some people who just don't really care about LEGO's pricing, and good on you for that, but it does matter to a lot of people, and I think that is definitely very important to consider, that if something is overpriced, that can be the make or break on whether someone actually buys a set or not. So I would definitely consider that as an option, and I'm sure most of you in the comments section will agree that pricing is an important factor. I'm sure a lot of you have heard already, but LEGO is upping their prices on a quarter of their sets as a common misconception, but it's not every single set, it's only some of them, so that excuse does not apply to a lot of these. It applies to a select few. There was a list put out by Stonewalls about the specific sets, and they do make sense, but some of these overpriced ones are not justified in that. Anyways, there's been way too much preamble. I'm just going to go through the sets and say whether or not I think that they're overpriced or not, and if they are overpriced, try and explain why they are and why that is. Keep in mind going through these that price per piece is usually measured at around 10 cents per piece. So for example, if there's an $100 US set, then it should have 1,000 pieces. Now that's obviously depends on large piece count, complex parts, I've talked about that before, but just keep that in mind. Starting off with the brick heads, it's $20 US, 260 pieces, it's a fair price. One brick head each for $10, definitely fair. No real arguments, there are a few printed parts, I'll take it for what it is. Next up, there's of course the Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter 282 for $30. This is definitely fair, comes with the Tornway minifigure with the exclusive Kaminoan mold. Lots of new prints on the minifigures, I definitely think that this is fair. However, because of the price hikes on a few sets, this is going up to $35 US. There, I think it's a bit overpriced. Again, that Kaminoan head mold might of course do that, but at least it has a reason there for being overpriced: inflation. BD1 is pretty fairly priced, just over 1,000 pieces, $100 US, makes a lot of sense, can't really complain there. Scythe comes in at the same price as BD1, and while not having 1,000 pieces, I do believe that this is definitely worth the value and probably more. It is a very big build, and BD1 is too by the way, but there are 4 exclusive minifigures including some new molds, which is obviously great. That'll bring up the price, and I seriously do think that this set is a good deal. Ambush on Ferrix is one which I don't think I've seen a lot of people complaining about the price, but I certainly think that this is definitely kind of overpriced. The piece count does match a $70 set, but I personally would not be paying $70 for this. The ship looks like a $40 build, the speeder might add like $10 value, so I would pay at max $50 for this set. Seriously though, $70 does not feel worth it. So yes, I do believe that this is overpriced, but why is it like that? First of all, the piece count does match. There are 679 pieces, makes a lot of sense for $70, definitely wouldn't fit for a $50 set. 3 exclusive minifigures are always great and are always a great addition to a set, so that makes a lot of sense, lots of new prints on those. There is also a lot of big pieces in the set. You can see a lot of plates there on the side which are quite large, and then also like the big engine pieces, for example, and the cockpit. So a lot of big pieces there. I do understand why this is $70, but I would still wait on sale just because of the size. Moving on to the 4 Plus ATST. Now this is a set that a lot of people have said is overpriced because it has 87 pieces for $30 US. Now this is a 4 Plus set, so first of all there are lots of ways you can justify this. There are very, very large pieces, huge molded parts, which wouldn't be used in other sets. You can see the legs, for example, are a huge part, and just lots of stuff like that. This set is really big, so that justifies the 87 pieces in a 4 Plus set. $30 does make sense, however, due to inflation, it is sadly going up to $35, which is definitely a bit too much, sadly. So hopefully, if you do really want the set for some reason, just get it on sale. Discussing the advent calendar, I have always thought that these are overpriced. $40 for a bunch of little builds and some minifigures is just not good to me. Yes, there are a few exclusive ones, which obviously is the justification there, but typically it's only like one printed part on the minifigure, so really there isn't much point. I think that there are 3 new prints in this set, so really I just can't justify that, especially since now it's $45 because of the price increase, and that's just shameful. That is way too much, really overpriced. 329 pieces, I can't justify that. I guess you are paying for the experience though, because it is definitely a unique LEGO experience. And then there was the Justifier. Now a lot of people already know about this. Everyone thinks that this is overpriced. 1,022 pieces, so it should be an $100 set. Forget this, $170 US. Now that was originally 160, but it's 170 with a $10 price increase. Even at 160, that is way too much. That is like $60 more expensive. Justification wise though, there are a lot of ones there, no pun intended. First of all, very big parts, lots of big plates, big bricks there. I can understand that. So yeah, the price per piece is still a bit hard to swallow, but I can kind of see where it's coming from. Size-wise for the build, yes it is big. I still don't think it's $170 big, but maybe like 140-ish, so I guess I can see that for not an $100 set. And then there's the minifigures, which there are 3 exclusive ones, really 2 exclusive ones, and a molded part. But something a lot of people don't talk about is this set has 4 new molds: Omega's hair, Toto 360, Cad Bane's hat, and Cad Bane's breathing tubes. That is 4 new molds. That is insane for a LEGO set, which definitely does justify the price of it. I'm really sorry for these Justify jokes. There's also Ferrix helmet, which has only appeared in one set, which was $160 previously. That is obviously dual molded, and LEGO has some form of not putting this in sets. It wasn't in the $100 Boba Fett's palace, so that I guess justifies something. Again, I'm really sorry, this is unintentional at this point. Either way, unless there's a very good sale, I can't justify the Justifier. Very sorry. And then of course there's the one everyone's been waiting for, the Obi-Wan vs Darth Vader set. Everybody has hated this set for its price and just in general so much, so there really isn't much else to say. This is 408 pieces for $50 US. It's not so much the piece count, but the build is way too much. I personally can kind of justify it a bit. You can see there, very big parts, very big plates, and very big of those bow and angle and slope pieces there. There are also 4 new minifigures. Yeah, I know Vader isn't really that new. Ned B does have a new mold, for example, so there's a lot of stuff there. And then honestly, this isn't as big as the Justifier for my opinion. I think that if this was $40, I would be totally fine with this, and I honestly would even think that this could be a big deal. So if you get this on sale for at least 20% off, I do seriously think that this is a fine set. And I can't be the only one who, after seeing a few reviews, is kinda changing their mind on the set, honestly. I'm starting to like it a bit more. Don't know if I'll buy it full price yet. I think I'll wait a bit, at least get it on a bit of a sale. But I do think I'm kinda starting to like this. And so those are all the sets themselves in detail, and to me, 5 out of 9 of them are overpriced, which is not a good deal. I could bump that number up if I wanted. Some of them are worse than others, but I seriously don't think that this is a great value set in this wave, which is pretty bad. For example, last year I think that the Boba Fett Starship and the Imperial Armored Marauder were both great deals for their price, but here I don't think they're the set. The closest thing is maybe BD1, or even the Scythe maybe, but again that's kind of pushing it. I just can't see something that I look at and go, that is a really great deal and is kind of an underpriced set, which obviously LEGO doesn't have to do, but it's kind of weird when that doesn't happen. The sad thing is though, to me personally and people I've spoken to, some of these prices are just simply a deal breaker for these sets. These are some pretty cool sets, but pretty much when you show people the price, they're not going to be getting it, which is a real shame, and I just really hope that LEGO does lower these prices. I know that's never going to happen in a million years. That would be really cool though. Some of these sets are beyond saving with sales, but I definitely think that some of these could be saved with, of course, a good sale. So I would recommend for most of these sets getting it at least lower than retail price. If there's just a retailer that usually sells them for a bit lower, just buy them from there, honestly, and just kind of, I don't want to say this because it doesn't really make any change, but don't support LEGO's overpriced prices. And I know that that is not going to make a change whatsoever, but seriously, for your sake, just do it. But yeah, this video's been long, it's taken up a long time. Thank you if you're still here and still watching. And I did also just want to say, for those of you who are here, I know that recently my videos, there's been getting less and less. I'm sorry, if I'm honest, I'm on a bit of a burnout right now. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and I've kind of just taken a bit of focus on this, honestly. Also, I've been wanting to do a lot of summer videos with all the sets, but I'm kind of been waiting awkwardly for the 4+ ATST because it hasn't been revealed yet. So it's kind of coming in a bit late there, which is really annoying. So hopefully once that gets revealed though, I will be back on track and doing a lot of videos on those summer sets. So just wait and see. This was just really the first one that I wanted to get out. But yeah, do stay prepared. I should be getting some more videos out soon. Anyways, please let me know your thoughts down below. Do you think these sets are overpriced? Does it stop you from buying any? However, yeah, that'll be all today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe. That'll be all, folks. Goodbye.